The night was cold, one of those evenings when the sky looked heavy with unspoken sorrow, and the street lamps flickered like tired eyes refusing to stay awake. At the corner of Maple Street, near the peeling bench that served as a bus stop, a young woman sat hunched, her arms wrapped tightly around her little boy. She wore a coat that had seen better days, seams worn thin, and her shoes looked soaked from walking too many miles in the rain. Her son, no more than 6, pressed his head against her shoulder, fighting sleep while clutching his school bag as if it were his treasure chest. Her name was Clara. To strangers, she was just another tired woman waiting for the bus. To herself, she was a single mother carrying the weight of an entire world on her fragile back. 2 jobs barely paid the rent, and sometimes even food seemed like a luxury. Tonight she had worked late at the diner, her hands sore from serving plates and cleaning tables, only to discover she had missed the last reliable bus. The next one wouldn't come for nearly an hour, and in this part of town, the wait felt endless. She stared at her child, guilt piercing her heart. He should have been in bed, safe and warm. Instead, he was shivering beside her, too young to understand why his mother's eyes often glistened with tears she tried to hide. Clara tilted her head back, staring at the dark sky. Is this all there is, she thought. She had once dreamed of finishing college, becoming someone her son could be proud of. But life had cornered her. When her husband abandoned them, she had no one to turn to. Friends disappeared, family judged, and society looked the other way. She swallowed hard, telling herself the same thing she repeated every night, just one more day. Just keep pushing. The sound of tires screeching softly against the wet road pulled her from her thoughts. A sleek black car rolled to a stop in front of the bus stop, its headlights cutting through the mist. It wasn't just any car. It was the kind you only saw in magazines or parked in front of hotels too expensive to step inside. The windows were tinted, reflecting the dim streetlight above, but after a moment, the back window rolled down. Inside sat a man in a crisp suit, his posture sharp, his eyes unreadable. His presence commanded attention as though the world bent slightly to his will. His jawline was hard, his hair neatly styled, and there was something in his gaze, something that carried authority, but also recognition. He looked at Clara and her son as if he had seen this picture before in a life he had nearly forgotten. "Get in," the man said, his voice steady and low, carrying no hesitation. Clara blinked, frozen in disbelief. She tightened her grip on her son and shook her head. "Excuse me," she whispered, her voice barely audible. The man leaned forward slightly, his gaze never breaking. "You're coming with me," he said again, slower this time, as though giving her no room for argument. Fear surged through Clara's veins. In her world, kindness from strangers was rare, and offers came with hidden chains. She shook her head quickly. No, thank you. We're fine." Her son stirred, confused, peeking up at the car with sleepy eyes. But the man didn't drive away. Instead, he studied her thin coat, her son's drooping eyelids, the way she held herself as if bracing against an invisible storm. He had once seen that same look in the mirror. "You're not fine," he said firmly, though his tone softened. "You've been carrying too much, and tonight it ends." Clara felt her throat tighten. Who was this man to speak as if he knew her life? She looked away, hoping he would leave, but instead the car door opened. The driver stepped out, umbrella in hand, and respectfully stood back. The man inside leaned closer. "I'm not asking to hurt you. I'm giving you a chance." Her heart raced. Everything screamed at her to refuse. She had heard too many stories, seen too many traps, but there was something in his eyes, not pity, but purpose, a strange strength that almost made her believe him. Still, she shook her head. "We can't, I don't even know you." He exhaled, a sigh that carried memory. "My name is Alexander Knight," he said. The name was familiar. Clara had heard it whispered at the diner when businessmen talked about powerful figures. He was the kind of man who lived in skyscrapers, not on broken benches. "I was once where you are now," he continued, "and someone reached out to me. Tonight, I'm doing the same for you." The Clara froze. Her son tugged at her sleeve. "Mommy, I'm cold," he murmured. Her heart cracked. She glanced at the empty street, the dark sky, then back at the car. Every instinct screamed caution, but every beat of her son's shivering body begged for warmth. Slowly, with trembling hands, she stood. Alexander's eyes softened, as if he understood the war inside her. "Trust me," he said quietly. Clara hesitated one last time. Then, clutching her son's hand, she stepped forward. The driver held the umbrella above them, guiding them gently to the car. Her son's eyes lit up at the soft leather seats, a world so far from the hard benches he knew. Clara sat stiffly, her heart pounding, her mind screaming with questions she dared not voice. The car door shut, sealing them inside. The world outside grew distant, the cold replaced with quiet warmth. For the first time in years, Clara felt seen. She didn't know where this road would lead, but she knew one thing with absolute certainty: her life had just changed forever. And as the car drove away from the bus stop, Clara looked at her son's sleepy smile, then at the man beside her, the millionaire CEO whose simple words had pulled her from despair. She had no idea what awaited her, but somewhere deep inside, a spark of hope flickered to life.